Good morning, church. My name is Aspen Tucker, and I'm 14 years old and a freshman at Lenape High School. Over the summer, I had the privilege to serve for my second year in VBS, this year in a kindergarten class, which took place June 22nd to 27th. VBS stands for Vacation Bible School, and our church has it once a year in the summer from Monday to Friday. It's a 3-hour summer camp for kids that finish kindergarten through 6th grade. At a typical day in VBS, each group sorted by grade will rotate through the opening and closing worship and announcements, a missionary story, crafts, a Bible lesson, free time where the leaders typically teach a Bible verse for memorization, and of course, snacks and games, which I've come to find the kids enjoy the most, especially in the beginning of the week. Throughout the week, the kids and leaders are challenged to dress up for the fun themes of each day, like Crazy Hair Day, and one from this year, Dress Like a Sea Animal Day. And they're also challenged to bring in a different type of coin every day to raise money for the missionaries in a competitive boys versus girls competition, which I have to mention that the girls won this year. Additionally, the group spent the week working on memorizing a verse, like this summer's verse for the kindergarteners, Proverbs 3:5-6. Although the week posed many challenges, it honestly was one of the weeks I felt the presence of God the most. From the daily devotions to the fun dance choreography in the opening and closing services, every moment was focused on worshiping God. Before every day, my group of kindergarten leaders would pray together for the kids, highlighting how we hope that through our service we can sow even the smallest seeds in the kids that God can grow within them. Throughout the week, this became the purpose of serving. Serving wasn't meant just to be about what I can do, but about what God can do through me. Because there's so little that I can do alone, but with God, who's sovereign over our hearts, we can do a lot. Every day, the kids started to look forward more and more to the Bible study. Every day, more and more kids started getting up out of their chairs to worship the Lord and dance before Him. By the end of the week, the kids were so sad to leave VBS, when in the beginning they were afraid to start it. These little wins were proof of how God can move even in the smallest of areas. He truly worked through everyone in the building, and I can confidently say that He worked out something special in VBS. Something we tried a little differently this year was, when the new set of VBS songs were added, a worship song called House of the Lord by Phil Wickham was also added. When I first heard about it, I was a little skeptical, since it's, a song that's normally played inside of a church service, and it doesn't have a lot of the fun choreography that the kids enjoyed. But God truly surprised me with this one. By the end of the week, I think it was one of the songs that the kids sang the loudest, screaming out, "We shout out your praise." I remember sitting back for a minute on the last day of VBS when we sang the song, just listening as the whole assembly worshiped. It reminded me of the verse where David danced with all of his might, because these kids that were shy and quiet on the first day were dancing and singing before the Lord. This is a perfect example of how sometimes I have to let go and let God. So often, I try to take control of the things around me because, pridefully, I figure that my plan is better than His. But like how God worked it out with His song, His plan is always better, and He is capable of more than I can imagine. Romans 8:28 says, "And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those according to His purpose." Considering that in Genesis, God called the beautiful sky and the earth and the oceans good, I can assume that His good plan for us is better than we can imagine. God truly worked that week through everyone in the building, planting and growing seeds in people of all ages, and none of that would be possible without Him. He was the reason we can sing His praises, and He deserves all the glory, honor, and praise. As Psalms 150 says, "Let everything that has breath praise the Lord. Praise the Lord." Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the service.